Hello everyone and welcome for the third episode of the Analyst Desk for the Manufacturers Series in the FIAGTC 2019 Championship. Today we'll analyze the race number 14 that will be held on Circuit de Sainte-Croix, as we would pronounce it in French. So yeah, as always, I'll be going through the race settings, the track analysis, and then a tier list for the race, in which I'll explain the strengths of each car and why you should do good or should struggle in the upcoming race. So let's start with the race settings. So for this race, we'll have, same as the last one, GR3 cars, which are the most balanced out of all the categories in the game. Then we'll have a 5 laps race, but keep in mind it's a 3-minute lap, so it should lead to a race that will be roughly the same amount of time than the previous one. Slipstream on real, damage on lines, as always. Tires allowed only odds, and I'll explain this a little bit later. Then balance of performance obviously on, start type, rolling start, fuel consumption times 3 and tire wear times 13. So first, this race should be a no-stop race because obviously there is only 5 laps and I don't see anyone being able to gain like 7 or 10 seconds on someone else. Even with fresh tires. In my opinion, it would be better to no stop the race because there's no point losing time in the pits. Then I'll talk a little bit about the allowed tires for these GR3 races. So we saw already last time that they were only using racing odds. I think that it's made on purpose to keep the balance of all the cars, because in GR3 cars are now using way less tires than what they were using before. So yeah, in my opinion, the tire choice and only allowing odds is made to balance all the cars, and I think they are doing a pretty great job in GR3. Problem now is in GR4, but it will be very hard for them to balance all the different cars because all the cars are very different when you go from a manufacturer to another. So yeah, in GR3, I think that only allowing odds is a good choice because it keeps all the cars balanced. So yeah, let me know if you think otherwise, but yeah, I think it's a good choice from them to only allowing odds. So yeah, obviously some cars will have advantage on some tracks, but there will always be a track where your car will perform well. So yeah, don't be afraid if your car is not good on this track or was not good on the previous one, because you'll find a track that suits your car better. And yeah, if there's only one tire choice, you can't be screwed over by strategy. So that should be, yeah, I think it's a good idea from them. Then we will go on the track analysis. So in this track there are a few straights that I've highlighted in yellow, which are the main straights and which leads to overtaking opportunities. So for example, the first corner will be an overtaking spot. The corner right after the bridge will be an overtaking spot if you can go side by side with your opponent and keep the car side by side for all the little S's. And then we'll have all the twisty turns, all the 90 degrees at the beginning of the track that I will talk about. I've also, as always, left in black the parts of the track where handling cars will have an advantage. So yeah, let's talk about this first part of the track with all the 90 degrees turns. So the first corner will be, as I said, an overtaking opportunity, because it's just after a long straight. Then, in my opinion, all this part of the track is about keeping the rhythm, keeping the flow of the track going on. You'll have to maintain speed through these corners, and I think it's not a good idea to battle with someone unless it's like 1 lap to go or 2 laps to go, because I think you'll lose quite some time in this part if you are battling with someone, because these corners can be, even if they look really sharp, they can be uh, they can be taken at high speed. So yeah, um, I think you should, like, unless you're way faster than your opponent, you should stay behind and follow. If he doesn't lose time to the guy that is in front of him, then I don't see the point of risking an overtake here, because you might lose like 5 or 6 tenths to the guy that is in front of the one you're trying to overtake. So yeah, maybe wait for those long straights, the long straight just after all the 90 degrees turns, for example. So then I will talk about the last part of the track with this long U-turn and the 2 corners that are just after the bridge. So the 2 corners just after the bridge are fast right and fast left-hander. Um, they can be they can be taken at good speed, but keep in mind that you will have to avoid going into the wall at the end of the left-hander. So yeah, be careful with your speed entry in these corners. And then you have the long U-turn. So in this corner, I don't think that all the cars should take the same line due to their differences. So I recommend you train on this corner, especially because it's a corner that is quite long, and that can make you lose or gain some time around the lap. And you will also have to find a good line for your car. So that means a line where you're comfortable with and a line where you can maintain good speed. So yeah, I'm not sure about the overtaking opportunities in this corner, but maybe we can see some magic moves happening in this one. So yeah, we'll see in the race. Then I'll finish this video with, as always, the tier list for this track. So I would say that overall, the one of the best car would be the Ford GT for this track, because it has good straight line speed and cornering isn't that bad. Same goes for the Peugeot VGT. It has very good straight line speed, and the cornering is maybe not as good as in the Ford GT, but still quite relevant. And of course the Toyotas, especially the Supra, will be good on this track in my opinion, but the FT1 can also have a chance in all the corners, on all the fast corners. Then we will go to the A tier. So I moved down Mercedes and Lexus in A tier for this race, compared to the S tier they were on for the last one, because for the Lexus, it's a car that can have a good lap time around this track, but in my opinion you'll have some struggles keeping it in front due to the little lack of top speed. Like, for example, if you're followed by a Supra or a Peugeot or a Ford GT, you'll have some problems keeping it in front in these long straights. The Lambo is in A tier because it's quite a good car overall. It has good straight line speed, good cornering speed, and yeah, you can do great lap times with this car. The Jaguar is here because of its straight line speed, obviously, and cornering isn't shocking, I would say. So yeah, can have good results with the Jaguar here. And then in B tier we have the same two cars as in the previous race. That's not just me being lazy, but those cars aren't that great in GR3. The Renault just lacks too much of top speed, and even if the cornering speed is great, you'll struggle a lot in those GR3 races without some top speed. And then the Alpha, it's just not a car that we see a lot on in front in these GR3 races, so I think that makes up for the GR4 that is very, very strong. So yeah, I've put them in the B tier for this race. I was also thinking about the Nissans here. In my opinion, they would be A tier, like somewhere around that, because of the straight line speed and the accelerating power of this car. But the problem will be, as always, the corners, and there is a lot of 90 degrees. There is a lot of fast corners in this track, so that's what hurts the Nissan the most, in my opinion. So that's why I decided not to put it there. Then we'll have some cars like the Ferrari, the Honda, which can have great result in, I think, in this race if they are able to get in front in qualifying. And same goes for the Audi, but yeah, I think that the three best cars are the Supra, the VGT from Peugeot, and the Ford GT for this race. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you've learned some things, because that's the aim of my videos. Also hope that the previous ones helped you, and I hope this one will help to get some points in for your manufacturers. And yeah, I'll look at the results and try to figure out if I made any mistakes or what I have to improve on my analyzing stuff for the next video, which should be on Thursday or Friday, as the race is on Saturday. So yep, I'll see you in the next one, and yeah, have a great race, everyone, and hope you'll get those points for your manufacturers. See you in the next one.